I'm excited to be reelected by the voters if they'll have me, because I feel we have real momentum to continue to build trust in government by being a more responsive government to deliver better public services, to continue to address the cost of living here in Missoula, and also continue to strengthen our local economy. And then I am very much focused on continuing to help deliver more choices for different home types for Missoulians, and hoping to improve the affordability then for Missoulians. And all three of these priorities are areas we've seen real progress over the last 18 months that I've been in office. And if I am reelected for another 4-year term, I believe that by listening to the residents and hearing from folks, that these areas will continue to be significant ways in which we can continue to make Missoula a great place to live and to work and retire and learn in. So I am just thrilled to continue to work on these priorities.
Yeah, and what has been some of the progress you've made?
Great question. On the first priority of a more responsive government for better public service, one example is the use of data to make better decisions. One thing that we did after the voters approved the fire levy was that we conducted a station location study to better understand the call volumes and demands that we have for all 5 of our fire stations. And we learned that to be most effective and to deliver the greatest amount of public safety would be to build Station 6 more in the center of town than where many of us presumed it might be, which is out west, where we see some of the growth happening. And ultimately, if we are able to build, and we will, Station 6 in the core of our community, then we'll be able to readjust the call, sorry, I'm messing this up. We'll be able to readjust the different stations' response areas to better serve the community. And that's just one example. I mean, another example of things that we've made progress on is instituting a constituent tracking system. And it sounds really like, what is that? People call and ask questions. They call the mayor's office, maybe because they don't know who to call at the city, or maybe they feel like they haven't been able to get the response that they need. And so we've been able to put together a constituent tracking system that helps us coordinate with our departments so we can ensure that there is effective response to the constituents. And customer service is one of the areas that we are always striving to improve better customer service. And people get their information differently these days. And by being able to examine how we communicate with the community and ways in which we can engage with folks so we can actually hear people's ideas, suggestions, concerns, and then do something with that, and then help people understand what we're doing with their feedback. So those are things that we're working on that will only help build trust in government, which I think today is an area that I think we can all agree we'd like to have more of. Some of the other areas of progress that we've made when it comes to cost of living, the City Council just unanimously passed the mayor's budget, the executive budget that I proposed, with a 3.39% budget increase for existing property tax owners. And that meant that we were able to increase our fund balance, which for us means that we have more financial security going forward. We were able to address the structural debt that we've been managing for some time, the structural deficit. And ultimately, we did this by still meeting the core services that residents expect and need. And we were able to support our staff in doing that. And that is because I have placed a cost of living lens. I've charged our departments with a cost of living lens to think about when we make decisions. As we carry out an initiative or a project or a program, thinking through the impacts to our residents, and that might mean that we need to evaluate the trade-offs. So an example of that is we want to continue to build more sidewalks in Missoula. And we have a very complex cost sharing program with property owners that when a sidewalk goes into their property, they pay a share of that. And then the city, which that means other taxpayers, pays the rest of that, taxpayers and gas tax. And we looked at, after hearing from residents, and the cost of installation of sidewalks is just very expensive. And after hearing from residents who felt like the areas that we were seeing more sidewalks get built were places that often are maybe more of our low and moderate income neighborhoods. So they were feeling it the most. And so we looked at what's the cost benefit here? How much staff time does it take to do these very complex sidewalks assessments? Turns out it's quite a bit. And at the end of the day, can we figure out how to do sidewalks where we already have a project funded through either grant funds, through the use of gas tax, or other ways that direct property owners are not necessarily assessed? And that might not always be the case. Right now we're taking a pause on it and figuring out how can we get sidewalks built that don't necessarily cause some of our most cost-burdened residents to pick up a tab on that. So that was one way of listening to our residents, responding, being agile, thinking through with a cost of living lens, how are the decisions that we're making impacting these folks? And then lastly, when it comes to housing choice and affordability and availability, we are underway with a once-in-a-generation code reform. That new zoning framework and code reform will be in place this fall. So we are about to release for the public the zoning framework here at the end of the summer, beginning of the fall. And then through the course of the fall into the winter, we will be going through the whole public process of adoption of this new code reform. And what that will mean for residents in Missoula is that the private sector will be able to respond to building more home types, different kinds of homes in all parts of Missoula versus in just some parts of Missoula right now. The other part that's very important is that we address the permitting process and the amount of time that it takes to get a building permit or go through a subdivision. So we're addressing both of those things to make sure that we can reduce the time that it takes. We know that time is a killer for a lot of projects, and that cost that is borne by the project is often borne by the home buyer or the renter. And so we know that there are plenty of people out there that would move out of their large home and they've raised their kids, they're seniors, if they had a decent place to move into. And we do believe that through this code reform and our new land use plan, we'll be able to see a variety of home types for our vibrant and diverse community. So that's very exciting, and I'm very excited to get that underway, and then to be able to evaluate it and be able to see what are we seeing get built, for what price points, and how is it working. And then when we need to make tweaks, we will. So we have been working to support property tax reform at the state level, and we worked on that very hard in the 2025 session. And there was a property tax bill that was passed that will provide some relief to our residents here locally in Missoula. Ultimately, there was a shifting around to different ratepayers. Ultimately, that's the structure of the property tax relief. And so there was no new revenue stream added to further reduce the impact to property tax payers. One thing that's important to remember is the city of Missoula is about 1/3 of your local property taxes, and the other are schools, the county, and Mountain Line, which is the Missoula Urban Transportation District. And each of those have their own tax increase and budget process that they go through, or taxation process. And so we we can't necessarily control the way property taxes are structured at the state because that is a legislative decision. However, we can advocate and lobby, which is exactly what we did. And we saw legislation pass that we do think is moving in the right direction, that we do think that we are going to see, our residents are going to start seeing some relief, which is great. The things that we can control on the budget side are what I worked on to make sure that we are controlling costs. And so we spent less than what we budgeted for 2025 by $1.5 million. And then going forward, I had some very tough choices to make. One of those, for example, was we had been funding the temporary emergency shelter at Johnson Street with federal dollars, and that was approximately $2 million a year to operate. And there was no possible way I could bring that into the city's budget, into our general fund, which would have actually required me to reduce services in another area. And that might have looked like fire or police or some other significant service that the community relies on. The other areas that we looked for and found savings were in our software packages. You know, the reality is we use technology to manage the city, and the software licenses that we have, they all are on a renewal basis, and we worked across all departments to make sure that we were streamlining and first of all, reducing any redundancy, reducing unnecessary licensures, and then just consolidating some efforts so we could reduce the cost. That's another example. Another example is that we adjusted our deductible in order to have a smaller insurance premium for our general liability insurance. We are looking at every single thing to make sure that we are reducing costs where we can. We've also heard from residents that they wish to see more services even than we can provide today. And so without increasing taxes substantially, we need to make sure that we can continue to provide very good services, but without a significant property tax increase. And I would say at 3.39%, that is at or below inflation. And that was very important to me as a target. And you know, I would say that there's not much that you do these days where people are not increasing their cost of service. And our choice as a city is to either decrease our level of service or be able to reasonably pass small property tax increases like we did in order to be able to maintain the great service that we provide. So we're doing a whole host of things. As the city's role is really the hub of the community's homelessness response system. We are continuing to provide the administrative support for providing the coordinated entry system here in the city, which means that we work with homeless service providers to be coordinated on every front. One, so people that are houseless can more easily access services, and that all of these services are coordinated so we reduce duplication. So the city manages the system. Some of the other things that we have been doing recently that I am really excited about is we're focusing our efforts when it comes to houselessness on housing-focused solutions. So let me pause for a second. The solution to homelessness is housing, and the city will focus its precious resources and efforts on housing-focused solutions. And so what that looks like is when we had to make the very difficult decision to close Johnson Street Temporary Emergency Shelter, we did that over a 5-month period, and we stood up a housing sprint adjacent to that. So we have been working with our team here at the city and service providers and partners from across the city to intensively work with guests at the shelter to housing problem solve with them. And ultimately, where we are today is that we have around 40 people that have accessed permanent housing one way or the other. Some folks have been able to be reunited with family or friends. Some folks have gone into more skilled nursing care, those types of things. As of the We have had close to 700 housing problem solving conversations. We're tracking all of this data in ways that helps us improve the system, and that is a very important component to all this work. Something that needs to be said is that the city is working to constantly improve the work that we're doing so we can actually address homelessness and not we know that many of the things that we do in order to help people access immediate services and stay safe are very important. The emergency congregate shelter will always have an important role for our community, and that is one part of the whole continuum. And where the city is focused is being able to help continue these housing-focused solutions, and that looks like the Built for Zero program, where we used a housing sprint over the winter, and those learnings we are taking into the whole system. We've learned that the Missoula Housing Authority, for example, improved their public housing waiting list process as part of the housing sprint, because that activity shed light on some procedures and policies that could be improved upon. And we have partners in the community that are eager and ready to take a look at how we've been doing things. Can we improve on them? Because ultimately the solution to homelessness is housing, and that's what we're focused on. And I am, in addition to the ability for more homes to be built because of the code reform and the land use plan that we've passed, we are going to continue to stay focused on solutions that help people get off the streets and into housing. Day one, I am getting right back to work on the main priorities that I have talked about today. And those priorities, again, are delivering a more responsive government for better public service, addressing the cost of living for Missoulians, and working on strengthening our economy, and addressing housing affordability and choice. And so the reason to have priorities is to stay laser focused on things that mean the most to our constituents. And I know they do because we conducted a community-wide survey, and our residents and our constituents told us what was most important to them. And so day one, I'll be taking a look at these priorities and figuring out how those look over the next 4 years. I will say that we may have some new council members. So one of the areas that's a high priority for me is very good and strong working relationships with City Council. So that will be another area that I'll be focused on day one of a new term. And then we'll be also getting ready for a new strategic plan for the city. So upon re-election, starting in 2026, we'll be taking a look at our strategic plan, how we can roll these priorities into that strategic plan, and then continuing to communicate that to the public so folks can understand where their investment in the city, where their investment in tax dollars go, and they can see the value in the services that we're providing. I hope that the city of Missoula residents will have me back as mayor and vote for me, because I believe that we have got an incredible amount of momentum to help Missoula continue to be a wonderful place for everybody to live, to recreate, to learn, to retire in. Missoula's doing great in a lot of ways, but there are a lot of people that are struggling to make ends meet here and to make it work. And that continues to be my highest priority, and that is why I do believe that I deserve Missoulians' vote, because we've got momentum, we're making progress, and the next 4 years are going to see a whole lot more.